Welcome to Psychic Cowgirl Radio with Shannon Lackman. Practical, insightful conversations to empower and inspire you on your personal journey. From her cattle ranch in Alberta, this sassy psychic cowgirl uses her connections to universal energies to guide you to greater awareness and wisdom.
Good morning. Welcome to the podcast. How's everybody doing today? Today it's an overcast day, but it's warm. It's pretty here because all the trees are changing colors. Fall is here. Yeah, I think it's pretty. My cows came up to visit, so I'm very happy about that. It's been a bumpy week in my world. I had a family member cross over, and it's just sad. Very sad. It's always something bumpy to deal with, and so, feel what you're feeling and do you. There's no rules. There's no right or wrong. You need to feel what you're feeling. And so for today's topic, I also lost my dog last week too, and so it's bumpy in my world. A lot of tears. And so again, feel what you're feeling, because processing and working through it, even when it's incredibly difficult or feels totally overwhelming, is how you get through it. And unfortunately, there's no way to do it other than just experience and feel. And sometimes it just really sucks. But there's always hope. And you will get through it, mainly because you don't have a choice, right? And so I'm going to encourage you to feel what you're feeling, process it, work through it, and then do what you can to bring in some happy, those glimmers of joy, to balance it out. I mean, it's hard, right? It's hard when things happen and that are shocking or unexpected, but the reality is that they do. And we should be getting kind of good at building resilience by now, but some days, I am going to look at a puppy or two tonight, so that's making my heart happier. So, yeah. And so last week I said, feel what you feel, and this week I want to work on know what you know. Now, these are coaching things from neuro-linguistic programming, if you're into it. You feel what you feel, you know what you know, you see what you see, you hear what you hear. And so knowing what you know, this is like the biggest thing I help people with, knowing what you know. Because you do know lots of times, but we have become accustomed, let's say, to ignoring what we know, even when we know, right? And then we kind of get mad at ourselves for, I did know that. I did feel that. That's okay. Why didn't I trust myself? But trusting yourself and trusting that you know, it's a leap of faith. And I don't think you can do it without faith. Now, faith comes in many different ways. You get to choose your own way that you have faith. However that looks for you, it's completely personal. Don't let anyone else's opinions, thoughts, feelings, ideas derail you or make you feel like what you want to do is not right. I mean, it's okay to have others' opinions, but again, when you hear them or when they are chatting with you about them, you're going to know in your body if it's right for you. Our body is an intuitive being, and then sometimes our mind just gets all caught up in logic and we ignore our intuition. So common, right? So common. And to get better at intuition, you have to practice. It's completely like an energetic muscle that the more you use it, the more you understand it, the more you acknowledge it, the better you get at it. And you need to connect with your inner knowing. And connecting with your inner knowing and being able to understand the language of your own inner knowing, sometimes I think that's exactly what life is all about. Not just sometimes. I'm minimizing it. I do think it is. Cultivating self-awareness and knowing who you are and why you react and why you do what you do is why we're here, to learn, to grow, to experience. Nobody gets away from having things happen to them. Nobody. And so finding a way to navigate it, it's what we're doing anyway, so we may as well cultivate our intuition or our instincts and have some fun with it, right? I mean, it's also, like, let's just go there. It's also a good protection. When you are in tune with your environment as well as yourself, you can protect yourself easier. You know, especially us empaths, you know when someone's not telling you the truth. You know when there's an agenda. You might not know what it is, but you know something's off. And you know that you have to be aware. And if you don't trust somebody because you think something's off, you are 100% right. And as an empath, how often are we told, oh, you're just too sensitive, or no, that's not true. And people lie and say it's not true when it is because they don't want us knowing. And I do feel that's why a lot of people don't trust their intuition. Because when they know something and they try to talk about it or address it, they're shut down because knowing what you know and being confident in knowing what you know and being able to trust that you know what you know is intimidating to people with agendas and insecurities. That is how it goes. And even though you would like to say to them, look, I'm not a threat to you. I don't understand. They might not be willing to accept that because they're so caught up or self-involved in their stuff that, yeah. Because as an empath, when you want to know truth, you only have to put it out to the universe, and you get the truth. Might not like it, might struggle with understanding it or make peace with it, but you get it. It happens. And so when we know what we know, we also have to work through not taking things personally. Because even though we know, they might not know. They might be so self-involved or self-unaware or emotionally immature that they don't know. And I'm talking about relationships because that's what's the bumpiest in our lives is our relationships. All of them, right? They're bumpy. Even when, lots of times they go great and they're really good, but they always hit bumps and snags. That's part of being a human on this planet at this time, or probably ever. And that's, let's face it, that's what we are constantly working out and trying to figure out. And so to do that effectively, know yourself. You know I'm going to preach you self-awareness. Reverend Shannon, self-awareness. Figure it out, people. Get to know yourself so that you can make decisions and have understandings from your own foundation, your own integrity. Okay, so the destiny readings that I'm doing right now, so fascinating. They're heavy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a lot to process when I do a destiny reading for you because it's giving you things you need to work on, your challenges, who you are, as well as good stuff. And it just gives you a deeper understanding of what you're working through. And so it's interesting, though, because so far, every one of them had a bit of a task there that you need to connect to your inner knowing. It's been a common theme in all of them that I have done. And so I know that I was guided to do these now because we are, number one, wanting that. Number two, why shouldn't you? You have access to resources in your inner knowing that are priceless. They're invaluable. They're amazing. And they will make your life better. But you have to get to work at it and try to understand it. Knowing yourself and why you do what you do. And then when things bubble up, and they will. We're never, as far as I can tell in this incarnation, you're never not working on something. Because you're a work in progress, right? I think when you're done, you probably exit. And even then, you probably come back and work on some more stuff, right? But being intuitive and knowing what you know does enhance your life. 100% enhances your life. You often will go, well, isn't that interesting? So that's my go-to now. Even when someone's being a complete twit, interesting, in the moment so that I can untangle it later because, again, being an empath and working on your intuition and being intuitive, you have to learn what is personal and what is not personal. Because lots of times it's not personal because they're working through their stuff and they actually don't necessarily intend to be less than stellar to you. They just might not know any other way of being. And they've got themselves so mired and wrapped up in this. I'm going to say something about that, though, too. So as you all know, I was estranged from my dad for 100 years. No, kidding. It was about 30. And we're not anymore. I talk to him at least once a week, and we're good. And so I did take a leap of faith in doing that, 100%, because of the way I was treated was not good. And I walked away from my own mental health, my own well-being. And it's bumpy. For sure it's bumpy because you feel ostracized a lot. Anyways, what I want to say about all of that is, like I said at a family gathering at my cousin's house the other night, you can try again if you're estranged from someone or you've made mistakes and you would like to try again. You can take a leap of faith and try it. I had no idea how this would land, and it could have went really well or it could have went really badly, but at least I would have known. And the things I found out in this year and a little bit journey have been priceless. And some of it hard to grasp because I'm seeing some sides of some people in my life that I don't care for. And I have to figure out how I'm going to navigate that. And I'm working on it. But then other people that I've reconnected with through this, amazing. And I'll never have regrets about any of it. And so if there's some, that's where I was going with this. I know. Squirrel. If there's some unfinished business that you have and you want to have a conversation with someone, here's what I encourage you to do. So I was nudged hard, and I'm pretty sure I know who was nudging me. And thank you, Uncle Lyle and Grandma. But here's the thing. I had questions, and I put them out to the universe. And as an empath, when you put them out to the universe, you get your answers. They don't come in a straight line ever. It's very twisty-turvy, but they do come. And so if you have some unfinished business with someone, I'm going to encourage you to have a little chat with yourself, however you get your guidance, and ask for guidance on it. Maybe write stuff down, maybe have a good conversation with a trusted friend, maybe have a soul session with me. I'm going to encourage you to do something that is proactive and can give you the closure or the understandings on your unfinished business. Because there's definitely something energetic about unfinished business that can keep us kind of tangled up. And when we take the steps to untangle it for understanding, I'm going to give you a little caution here for understanding, not to have somebody either apologize or admit what they did to you was wrong. Don't do it looking for that kind of energy. Do it looking for understanding for yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you get the apology or the acknowledgement, it's great. I got it from my dad the other day, and it was lovely. But I didn't go into this for that reason. I went into it because I wanted some understandings. And remember, I wanted to see if trauma class worked, and it did. And there's lots of shifting, changing energies right now. So if there's some unfinished business you have with somebody, I'm going to encourage you to ponder how to go about getting you answers that you may be wanting. But I'm just going to caution you to go about it with wanting understanding and being respectful and courteous, and understanding that maybe the person you want answers from doesn't want to give them to you. But I'm also going to encourage you to think outside the box about it. Because if you're coming at a situation with good intentions, and as long as in their situation or their life they can handle it, I mean, if they're going through some absolutely crazy dark stuff, they're not going to be in the space for what you would like. Again, you don't have to be pushy about it, and you don't have to expect the answers to come quick. But if you start the process and work on taking a couple baby steps, I think you'll be surprised by how it goes. I know I am almost every day. But I'm also very in tune with my intuition. And I know when to proceed and when to back off. So again, here I'm preaching you, know yourself, get to know yourself, understand yourself. Figure out who you are. Figure out your integrity. Figure out your foundation. So if you have a friend, a partner, a coworker, for them to have a relationship with you that is, healthy, we'll go there. What are your not negotiables, right? Because you're very, very, very close friends that you trust with things. There's certain things that you're going to need from that relationship that are not negotiable. Like, number one, that they don't tell your business to everybody, right? Of course. Number two, that they probably don't lie to you about stuff, right? Because that has an energy to it that you just can't deal with. Number three, they're not judgy, right? Who wants a friend that's judgy? Because life is messy and weird as it is. So I encourage you, when, again, self-awareness and getting to know yourself, you need to know your foundation energies. Like, what is not negotiable? I mean, everybody has good days and bad days, and, we have to be a little more fluid, a little more accepting, because life is bumpy. Financially, right now, life is bumpy for everybody, and that does bring out some of the worst in people. At the same time, it really encourages us to tune into our resilience and our problem-solving skills that are maybe outside the box or outside of how we normally think, which is precisely what your intuition wants to help you with. Your guidance system is incredible as long as you don't ignore it. Because then you have regrets, right? Dang, I knew that message was there. Why didn't I listen? But it's also learning. We're here to learn. We're not here to be perfect. Thank goodness, right? Being perfect is too much pressure. My goodness. Besides, I can't do it. And we need to know ourselves. What brings us joy? What brings us happiness? What brings us down? What's okay? What's not okay? Know what you know. And knowing what you know doesn't mean you have to share it with other people. So I do have clients who are very intuitive, but sometimes their intuitive messages are a little bit on the warning side or darker side, and they have to figure that out. Because knowing something, and then you have to really develop your own discernment on whether it's appropriate to share that or no. This is why I rarely drink. Because if I do and I overindulge, it all just spills out and I can't filter it and practice my discernment. May or may not have mentioned that I was out one night and, got a little carried away, and a message popped in and I grabbed my friend's hand and I almost zapped her off the chair. Yeah. You have to practice discernment. So you don't have to necessarily tell if it doesn't feel right, but write it down so you can let it go. We hold on to so much and it gets stuck in our energy systems, our mental energy systems, our physical energy systems, our bodies, and then that causes us issues. So you need to find a way to vent. Again, you all know I preach that. I have my stair stepper, or I stomp in my pasture. I swear at the coyotes. I used to swear at my bulls when they were bad, but they've been good, so I don't have that outlet right now. Because having knowings, understandings stuck in your body is also not good, right? We're very complex, energetic beings, but we're also simple. And that's the way of the world right now. Nothing's a straight line. Everything is twisted, curved, switchbacks, the whole thing. It's weird. It's weird being a people, isn't it? Okay, I just need to keep an eye on the time because I want to make sure I have enough time for our guided imagery. And I also have a busy rest of my day. So we're at about 26 minutes in. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's just switch into our guided imagery. So I'm going to invite you to take a nice breath in, wiggle a bit. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds if you're doing something, just to either shut this off or pause it for later when you can listen to the guided imagery. And, and then we'll start. Okay, here we go. Becoming aware of your breathing. Just notice it for a few moments. Take these moments to gently focus on your breath. Then, let's take 3 big deep breaths as deeply as possible. As you begin to release and let go. These are the breaths that signal it's time to go within. Nice. As your normal, natural breathing begins occurring, imagine a gentle, warm, balmy breeze as it wafts around, wafting around your head, your neck and shoulders. And with every breath, as the breeze continues to move gently around, there's a gently and easily releasing and a letting go feeling going on, becoming more and more comfortable with every breath. Across the upper back, circling around through your chest, a warm, nurturing, comforting feeling as this breeze continues. Down both arms, hands, and fingers, releasing and letting go. With every breath, the breeze continues circling around through your mid-back and around through your solar plexus. Every breath drifting deeper now. The gentle sensations of the warm, balmy breeze as it continues around through the lower back and circling around through your belly, releasing and letting go. Becoming more and more comfortable with every breath. The breeze continues, moving around thighs, knees, calves, and ankles, and around through your feet, now and with every breath, becoming completely and thoroughly comfortable, calm, and at ease, being at one with the breeze, and the breeze still gently, easily moving all around and all through, so that at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, deeply, deeply, deeply relaxed. And we're going to continue with a journey to connect to your metaphysical empowerment. The wind gently blows open the door of your imagination. And you walk through that door to discover the unknown. All of your senses heighten. The sun shines a path through a forest that you've never been to before. A river flows. There's a sense of walking forward alongside of it, deeper into the forest. What's it like here? Walking up and up as the path spirals, going higher up, finding that there, right on the spiral path, is a mystic, alchemist of change, beckoning you to come even further forward. This must be the guardian of this place. What does this being seem like? What is your mystic, alchemist of change like? See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel, know what you know. The alchemist motions for you to go forward to an ancient gate. There's a word carved into your gate. It appears to be the word unlimited. And the gate swings wide open as the wind whispers the word to you. Unlimited. Feel what you feel. Know what you know. See what you see. Hear what you hear. Unlimited. With the alchemist and walking forward, as the alchemist of change is saying that somewhere ahead you can have an experience with the wonders of the one. To have this experience, it must be discovered. It's your journey. What needs to happen to find this mystical connection? Feel what you feel. See what you see. Hear what you hear. Know what you know. As this begins to take place, during the experience that you're having with the wonders of the one, what is discovered? I'm going to give you a few minutes to just be in this energy of the wonders of the one. Remember, you're unlimited, and you're going to feel what you feel, hear what you hear, see what you see, know what you know. There's going to be value in this experience. There's going to be a giving and a receiving. And you're going to make this connection. And it's going to be solid and foundational. I'm going to give you a few minutes to be with your wonders of the one energy and enjoy it. does that feel, making this connection? Don't overthink it. Feel what you feel. See what you see. Hear what you hear. Know what you know. And now, I'm going to encourage you, now that when you're ready, you can pause this if you want to spend more time with the wonders of the One. When the timing seems right, finding the path forward, continue on, and as the images and feelings fade for now, along the way, the good, the positive, and the true from this journey moves forward into your conscious outer awake life. Now at 0 to reinforce, and at 1 with a deep cleansing breath in, as you begin to come up and out of this journey, feeling connected, feeling confident, feeling secure, feeling empowered. Now at 0 to reinforce, and now at 1 with a deep cleansing breath in, as we begin to come up and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. You are unlimited, and sometimes we simply forget. So I'm going to encourage you to continue your spiritual journeys, your meditations. Come back here, connect again to the wonders of the One. We need to cultivate your inner knowing, because you do know what you know. You do. All right, so I'm sending you all a great big hug and a blessing for this week. I did put up the poll on my Facebook page, so if you want to go choose which energy clearing you feel would be better for you this week. And I hope your week's not as bumpy as mine. Big hugs. Bye.
You have been listening to Psychic Cowgirl Radio with Shannon Lackman. Practical, insightful conversations to empower you on your personal journey. To connect with Shannon directly, visit psychiccowgirl.com. That's PsychiccCowgirl.com.